Hey there and welcome back to the Full Later Life. Now if you're hitting that middle age area of your life and you're wondering how to stay fit, healthy and active as you get older, then this is the place to be. So I'm just closing out my first week of training for the marathon, and today is long run day, but being the first week it's actually a short run. The plan actually said I should be doing like 5 miles. I'm going around about 8 today because, well, I normally do a trail run each week with some friends of mine every week anyway, and it's usually longer than that. And so what I've decided to do is actually just do my normal running until the plan catches up with what I normally do, and then I'll start extending my runs according to the plan. So right now I'm actually ahead of my plan just because of my normal running schedule. So the trail run's going to be a great one. We're going to run the Gabrielino Trail, which is going to run to a nice little waterfall and then run back again. It's an out and back, and it'll be about 8 miles total, and then we're going to hit the coffee shop afterwards. But I'm really looking forward to getting this first week over with and getting on to the second week of training and get those miles up. So I've been on the trail for just over a mile now, and this is the first of the water crossings. There's actually several water crossings on this trail, and that's a great thing about trail running is your terrain changes all the time, and so you're not really going to be running outright fast like you do on the road all the time. You're going to be adapting to different conditions, different ways of running to not fall, not injure yourself. And so running through the water, I'm going to take it real slow, probably just walk through that, because I don't want to slip or anything like that. And my feet are going to get very wet, but that doesn't matter. I've got to change the shoes in the car. Anyway, let's get going, and I'll see you a bit later on this run. Okay, now one thing you need to be aware of when going on a trail run is you do need to bring all your nutrition and your hydration with you, because it's not like you're going to come across a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks while you're out there on the trails.
What about breakfast?
Well, we had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? I don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip.
And so I actually wear a trail running vest that stores everything. Got 2 water bottles in here, and on this run I've got 2 gels and an energy bar. Although it's quite a short run today, so I'm probably not going to consume all of it, but it's a good idea to have a bit more than what you need. Another thing you should also be aware of is that most trails, they don't always have trash, so taking your trash home, sometimes the inside of a gel pack can get a bit sticky, so maybe a little Ziploc might be good to put your empty gel packs in so you don't get all your clothes all sticky. Anyway, good point to remember when on a trail run. It's very different from a road run in that respect. Anyway, I'll see you a bit later on down the trail. So this is going to be the halfway point of my run today, and we end up at this really cool waterfall here. My friends have taken off. They don't want to wait for me to film stuff. They're out here to run, not here to make videos of it, so that's really cool. I'm going to meet them for coffee and food afterwards. But anyway, I'm now at the halfway point. I'm going to be turning around and heading back, but thought I'd just show you guys around this waterfall before I take off. And yeah, I'll see you at some point on the route on the way back. I've actually almost done what I'm supposed to do for the training, but as I said before, I'm going to be doing a few extra miles just because that's what I'll normally do on a weekend anyway, and hopefully in a few weeks time I'll be extending these runs because the plan's going to make me run a bit further. Alright, so the thing about trail running is that it gets very technical at times, and there are times when you really have to slow down, watch your feeding, or you're almost hiking sometimes. So trail running can be a mixture of running and hiking. When you've got a nice open gravel trail, yeah, you can open up the gas a little bit. When you've got like a rocky trail like this one, where you've got lots of trip hazards and lots of rocks, that's a time to kind of slow down, assess your surroundings. Yeah, sure, try and put the pace up as much as you can, but I tend to try and be a bit more where I slow down a lot, and especially if it's uphill or some really strong technical stuff, then I will end up almost hiking it really, and climbing, scrambling over rocks and things. That's part of the fun of trail running, and very different to road running, where you actually are just like, you more like to PR on a road run. The trail run is a different animal, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's a really good part of adding some variety to your marathon training. Even though you're doing a marathon on the road, putting a few trail runs in will actually give you some really good, get the muscles working in a different way, and it's really worth doing it. Sometimes you're going to hit a hazard or a blockage on a trail, which you're going to have to climb over to get across. Unlike road running, I mean, sometimes in a road run you might end up with a weird thing happen, but trails, that's just part of the course really. So now I'm going to have to climb over this tree, and then we'll carry on with the trail. So here you can see I'm pretty much free of most of the technical terrain now. I'm almost at the end of my trail run for today, and this is a place where it's an open gravel trail. I can literally open it up right here and just let the gas out a little bit and pick up the pace. That would be kind of fun. Of course, still be aware there's a few rocks and things sticking out that you could trip on, but apart from that, I'm going to open it up now. I've got off the technical stuff, and then hit the end of the trail and join my friends for some coffee. So that marks the end of this long run, also the end of my first week of marathon training for Osaka. And you know what, I mean, today I did just over 7 miles. I thought it'd be nearer 8, but I guess sometimes I do an offshoot on this trail, but this time I didn't, so it's close to about 7.2 miles or whatever. It's still 2 miles more than the marathon plan lined out for me this week, but next week obviously the mileage is going to get bigger. And so anyway, what a great run it was, and I will see you all at the coffee shop. Well, here I am at the coffee shop, and my friends are already inside, but I don't want to go dragging the camera inside there and making them all uncomfortable and being that guy who's always making content. I just want to catch up and have a good time with them, so I'm going to leave you guys here. But first of all, before I go, I just want to ask, what do you guys do to mix up your training when you're training for a race or an activity or something? Do you do different things or go to different places? Let us know in the comments, because I'm sure that'll encourage a lot of people to just try different things. And if you like this content, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.